Daily Broadside, day 535. I was watching earlier today, this morning or early afternoon. I was watching a series of videos on TikTok where this guy's page, he's starting a new business in Alabama, and it's a convenience store. And it intrigued me because I like seeing where they're going with this and, what his business plan was and, what he had going and everything. And it's just a little small thing. And what drove me to be attentive to it in the first place was the fact that it was a 12 by 24, outbuilding like you can buy at Lowe's, right? A little shed that you put in your backyard, 12 by 24. Now, about 4 feet of that is a little deck. So the interior of it's like 12 by 20. It's basically a rectangular bedroom, right? I mean, it's a fairly large bedroom. Okay, so that's what his convenience store is. So I'm like, okay, you have my attention. And let me preface this with saying, I am by no means discouraging anybody from going out and starting a business. I think that's great. Small businesses are great. I support them all the time. I would just as soon support those as opposed to supporting something, Walmart-ish and a million times over. So don't hear me wrong. I just, you got to have a plan. There's got to be a forethought thrown into the mix. You can't just be a guy who's got 10 grand burning a hole in your pocket and you just start a business. It, typically speaking, doesn't work that way. It's not that easy. And you got to have some business acumen, quite frankly. You got to be smart about stuff. You can't be idealistic about things and whatnot. You can be practical more so than you might normally be or whatever. And what I don't remember what the numbers are, but in America, like some crazy astronomical number that's like, I think greater than the divorce rate, which is like 55%, maybe something like that. It's like a lot of first businesses fail. And what is the old adage? What's the most important thing about business? Location, location, location. Well, this guy has checked that right off the list, right off the bat. So this is in a small community in Alabama, in the middle of nowhere. I Google Earthed it. It's literally in the middle of nowhere. And he's built this so that he can sell alcohol primarily because you got to go like 15 minutes in any direction to go get alcohol. The town has about 350 to 370 people. So I don't even know if I would call that a town. It's kind of just a little community there. And it's literally in the middle of nowhere. It's on a community road, a county road. In fact, that's the address, county road, whatever number, in the middle of nowhere, Alabama, right? And when you Google Earth it, it's like just a vacant, like cleared out lot that looks like a quarter acre lot that they have put this 12 by 24 place, poured a horribly poured, probably done with Sackcrete, but a concrete pad in front of it, thrown up an open sign and bam, we're in business, right? And I don't know anything about the coding in Alabama, but there's a lot of things going on, okay? First of all, when I delved into the comments and the guys like responding and everything, first of all, he's got like 400 followers. So it's not really taking off, right? And then he had a video. He takes you through there, and he doesn't have a beer cooler. He's basically built like a 8-foot wide drywall insulated just like a closet. He's basically built a closet in the side of this thing that has an air conditioner window unit shoved into the back of it. And then he's got those plastic strips that hang like vertical blinds that you have at like in like refrigerated areas in like a grocery stores to keep the heat out, the cold in or whatever. And that's his beer cooler. And I guess it works. I don't know if that's going to be up to code. I don't know. This is Alabama, so I don't know much about this. But, when you build a business like that, you got to think licensing and insurance and overhead expenses, payroll. You got to have tax stuff going. There's different liabilities. Are you an LLC or are you a sole proprietorship? Are you a corporation? What are you doing? Like how are you legally making this entity work? There's a lot more to it than just buying a Lowe's special in the parking lot, throwing it on a lot and filling it up with Miller Lite, which is apparently what he's done, because what I'm understanding from the comments, he doesn't seem to have a liquor license or any kind of alcohol license with which to sell said liquor, which that's going to be a problem. Because if there's nowhere to buy alcohol in that area and people find out, hey man, there's something out on County Road 412, you can buy alcohol. When the authorities get a hold of that, they're going to want their money, or they're going to go down there and shut him down because somebody's going to complain. They're going to be like, he doesn't have a license to be selling like crap. But then you get into stuff like for most businesses, at least in the state I live in, you can't have a business without having at least like 2 parking spaces paved for handicap with signage and all that stuff. That's going to run you $3,000 right there. You can't just get a Sackcrete and pour a sidewalk and not have handicap parking. I mean, just stuff like that. And when you go in there, he's got like motor oil that I looked up. I didn't even know the brand. It was Prime. You get it at Sam's Club. So everything he's bought, he's getting it at Walmart, I would guess. He's got a few beverages, a few beers. He's got, stuff for barbecue. He's got a few bags of charcoal. He's got some, Reynolds wrap, some air fresheners, just typical crap. And then some chips and some snacks. And it's like, there might be like $500 in inventory in this thing. So then one video, he comes back and he's like, people wanting to know, what I made on our opening day and everything. And I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see this. So he shows the books. Drum roll, please. I think that's a Will Smith song. Isn't that the beginning of summertime? Anyway, $87, 85 or 87. I think it was $87. $87 what he made, right? Now, that's $31,000 a year before expenses. So then somebody's like, how much was your profit margin? And he's like 25 to 30. So now he's making 8,200, somewhere around in there, to like 10,100, right? That's his take home pay for the year. Now, he made comment at one point that he's got some fiance that he's, just blessed to have, that she's in a better place than him to support him in this endeavor. And I'm thinking, okay, I know where this is going. And then I saw her in one of the videos, or who I presume to be her, and I'm like, oh yeah, she's gonna have to have some money, because she, look her. But anyway, yeah, so he's making, best case scenario, $10,000 if he keeps on at this rate. Dude, I mean, I applaud you for trying. I'm glad people have dreams, but you got to get some investors. You got to do some stuff the right way. You can't just throw a damn building on a vacant lot and start selling Cheetos and Mountain Dew. It doesn't, and that's what you buying stuff. You're not even buying stuff wholesale. You can't go to Sam's Club and then what are you marking up the price? Like 40 cents on a drink? I mean, somebody's like, you got to have like a 45 to 55%, or I think he said a 45%, profit margin. And I would bet that, convenience stores are probably way higher than that. But I'm going to keep following this story, this saga, because I'm just fascinated and I can't wait for the updates, I mean, Godspeed to you, but I foresee this going. Oh, and he's got some head shop stuff in there. And all, and it's got a name on it that leads me to believe that it's lending towards the hemp industry, and there's no hemp stuff in there other than like some pipes and, some bongs and stuff like that, just typical head shop crap. And, I don't know, man. I'm curious to see where this goes, in the middle of Alabama. Now, word of mouth will travel, and all that at some point. But, you got to do it the right way, because I'm telling you, if you're betting on this being successful because you're the only alcohol game in town, and then the town comes and takes your alcohol game away, that's going to be a bit of a problem. So Godspeed there, 12 by 24 convenience store. Not wanting to be a whore, always looking for more on the store. All right, y'all be good. Giddy.